Hey everyone, this is Tony, who's helping with this 80 Star Basketball channel. We're going to run through our weekly auction report. Much typical, like every year around this time. Not many auctions going on, especially star basketball lots, but the same could be said for vintage and modern lots too. But we do have some interesting topics to talk to. Uh, like always, if you have any questions for Ryan and myself, please feel free to contact us on social media. Our links are in this video's summary and description, or you can reach us on the Facebook group. And feel free to leave a comment at this video. And if you have a question, feedback, or if you want to ask about a particular card or get our opinion on anything, feel free. Let's dig right into it. So as always, just as a reminder, we have the auction report website where it's nice to go in here, click on auction schedule, and you see a rundown of all the auctions. Starting with the 84 star Jordan 101, couple sales since we last talked. Most likely we had the first one was a PSA 4. And this copy sold on eBay for $20,045. If we take a look at that, it's a nice 4. It's what you would expect out of a 4, freshly graded, extremely recent grade. And on December 30th, we had MC Sports Card sell a BGS 8 for $26,900. And we went over this one already. Take a quick look at this PSA 4. Again, just want to take a quick look at the back. It's a nice clean back. And another quick look at this BGS 8. Decent centering left to right, thumbnail. We spoke about this card in a previous video when it was still active. Nice back on that. With the thumbnail, ding, like the card I have. Yeah, it's a nice card, but it's not near mint to mint. But that's here or there. Upcoming auctions, there's a few nice ones. Memory Lane has a PSA 6, which I already have the link open to. It's currently at $17,716. 3 days left for this. And I looked at this card earlier. I know Ryan is also watching it too. Little white on the corners, which is fine for a 6. Typical left to right centering. Top to bottom is okay. I did notice this little speck here, but seeing how the line extends past the card is definitely on the PSA slab. This one looks like it was graded in the spring or so of last year. So it's a recent grade. Nice back too. So definitely a nice PSA 6 to test the market and see where it lands. I'll be watching this. I won't be bidding, but I'll be watching it. There's a couple one-on-one related auctions at Heritage too. The first one is being talked about quite a bit on Facebook and Instagram. So this is an 8.5, also recently graded. I did reach out to Heritage about this auction, and I had a couple questions about it. So it's an 8.5, near mint to mint plus. I asked about the front wear. So if you, I need to zoom in more. Okay, so there's a line going here. I wasn't sure. There's actually just like two lines or three. There's three lines here. I asked if this was on the slab or if it was a surface scratch. I was told that it is a print line on the card. Um, Also compared this to the PSA scan, and there's a lot of white flex specks on here, and those spots are just lint or dust. They're not on the card. They're on the slab too, so it's, you know, but it's an 8.5. Don't know how it's an 8.5. I mean, it's a beautiful card. Don't get me wrong. With the centering, lovely. Just with these edge wear and the tip of the corner here and the three lines we talked here. Beautiful card. I'm definitely going to be a fascinating auction lot to watch, considering it's an 8.5 and it's already up to $195,000 before buyer's premium, which takes it to nearly $238,000. So someone's going to be very happy with this card. The next lot I saw was a set. So this is a complete set. Some of the cards are graded, and we talked about this last week, I believe, on the Facebook group. And the consigner of this auction did a good thing by leaving certain cards in BGS slabs and taking two of the three other cards and putting in PSA. And one of them should have been left, in my opinion, if I was the owner, in the BGS slab. So the three, unless they purchased them, but the three Jordans were left in BGS cases, and these two were PSA. I'll click a little bit closer. That's Stockton and the Olajuwon. Looking at the certs a little bit closer. So the certs are right after one another. So yeah, I think they came out of the same set. I would have left these two. I would have left this as a BGS 8. I mean, as a BGS case, I would have left these alone, which was good. And I think the owner did the right thing, moving these to PSA. Then they got some pictures of the back. The 195 Jordan, you can see the numbers a little bit cut off on here. Another reason probably why it was left in the BGS case. And then these three look fine. And you're getting the whole set too. I looked at the summary. There's nothing real eye-opening other than I like how Heritage put what they estimated the condition to be for the raw cards. All right, let's move on to the next one. The USA Jordan, number 194. Just two sales we had since we last spoke. December 28th, we had an authentic altered, sold for $1,650, and we had a PSA 3 sold on eBay also for $2,000. These cards are similar in appearance, other than obviously one's altered, the other one's not. Moving on to upcoming auctions, we have two of them to follow. One is Memory Lane again. The other one is on eBay. So eBay has a PSA 7. And I like the top to bottom centering. Left to right centering is typical. So this is coming straight out of the PSA vault. Zero bids at $8,500. And the other one is the Memory Lane auction. Let's take a quick look at that since we looked at the 101 they have. This one's at $29.24. It already has 8 bids. And this one is a little the opposite of what we usually see. So the top border is a little bit skinnier than what we would expect on the bottom. Left to right centering is the same, but it is a PSA 6. And for a 6, the front's okay. The back here, you can see the number is almost cut off. And the card looks tilted, but it's not. It's just how it is in these PSA cases. So this is something to keep an eye on. Moving on, we have the Jordan 288 card. There was only one sale since we last spoke, and that was the December 28th. We talked about this one last week. This was the set. This was the PSA 5, typical centering and edge wear of this card. The only thing that stood out to me was on the left-hand side of edge, a little bit of corner wear, so to speak, and then we saw this print defect or some type of mark on it, but that's why it's a 5. Upcoming auctions, there's only one for this card. It's at Memory Lane, so like the other two, we'll take a quick look. This is a PSA 6. It's already at $3,933 before fees. 4 bids, and we talked about when this ends. By the way, those cards we looked at Heritage ends in a little bit under 3 weeks or so. This is a nice card. I like it much better than the 5 on the card itself. So take a look at this if you need a 288. Last 3 cards we're going to take a look at this today will be the 84-star Barkley Stockton Olajuwon. So the last time we spoke, we had the big sale on December 29th, 89.89. I'm not going to talk about that centered Olajuwon. We'll go over some of the other ones. We didn't review Barkley last week, so a BGS 8.5 sold for $1,099. BGS 8 sold for $840. Take a quick look at these 2 cards. So the 8.5 has 9.5 centering, a little bit of edge wear on the top. You can take a look at the rest of the card if you want, but it's a nice card. We also have the Fanatics weekly for $840 that we took a look at that. Let's take a look at this 8.5, see if there's a big difference. We have edge wear, and let me take a look at this one again. Okay, this is the one we need to take a look at. So right off the bat, I like the 8 a little bit better than the 8.5. That's why I always buy the card and not the grade. Olajuwon, we had a PSA 7 sell for $11.01. We had a BGS 8 sell for almost the same price at $10.95, and a 7.5 BGS sell for $790. Centering is almost the same for all 3 of these. It's nothing like the one like the Olajuwon that we saw last week. So typical left to right centering, top to bottom, varies a little bit between the cards. Upcoming auctions, there's no Stocktons, but we have one Barkley, which is a PSA 6 on eBay that ends in 4 days. And we have this Olajuwon that we looked at last week, where I talked about not enough straight direct pictures. This is on eBay, has 0 bids right now. It's a 7.5 BGS. So that is your 80-star basketball auction report for this week. Slower week in terms of auctions, but we have quite a few big ones coming up at the end of this month and going into next month. But if you have any questions, comments, feedback, again, please feel free to reach out to Ryan and myself, and thank you.